My dear friends, there comes a season in every walk of faith when the weight of betrayal doesn't come from strangers, but from the hands that once held ours. It's not the roar of the enemy that breaks us, it's the silence of those we loved, the absence of the ones we thought would stand beside us in the storm. And just when the winds of trial begin to settle, when your soul starts to breathe again, they return. Not in shame, not with repentance, but with familiar faces, honeyed words, and smiles that hide stories untold. The very ones who turned away when you needed them most now reach out with open arms as if time erases all wounds. You begin to wrestle with questions no one can answer for you. Why now? Why again? Just when you were learning to trust the quiet, to rebuild from the ashes, they appear not as enemies, but as echoes of your past. This is not a coincidence. These moments are not mere accidents in time. Behind the veil of human behavior lies a greater struggle, a clash of light and darkness that touches even the most personal corners of our lives. And this battle isn't always loud or violent. Sometimes it's subtle, seductive, wrapped in nostalgia and dressed in the perfume of old emotions. The adversary is not a cartoonish villain. He doesn't always announce himself with flames and fury. More often, he borrows the voice that once made you feel safe. He walks in wearing memories you've tried to lay to rest. He speaks in the tone of restoration, but he seeks to reopen wounds you fought hard to close. What looks like reconciliation may actually be an attempt to unravel the healing you fought for. It is a test not of your kindness, but of your discernment. It's in these moments we must be anchored in truth, unmoved by sentiment, and guided by wisdom. So when the familiar knocks again, don't rush to open the door. Don't let nostalgia be mistaken for divine instruction. Test the spirits, look deeper. And remember, peace is not just the absence of conflict, but the presence of God. Choose what brings life to your spirit, not just comfort to your memory. There is a sacred weight in the lessons you've learned through pain. You didn't walk through the valley just to end up back at the mouth of the cave. You emerged scarred, yes, but also stronger, wiser. The tears you cried, the nights you spent in silence, the prayers you whispered when no one else saw, those weren't wasted. They were birthing something within you. And now, when the past comes knocking, it's not just a return, it's a confrontation. A moment for you to decide who you are now, not who you were then. Don't mistake forgiveness for obligation. You can forgive and still protect your peace. You can love someone and still love them from a distance. Restoration is a beautiful thing, but not everything broken is meant to be pieced back together. Some fractures were allowed so you could be separated from what was silently draining you. Some doors closed not because you were being punished, but because you were being preserved. The return of familiar faces doesn't always signal divine timing. It may be a final test. Will you return to what once hurt you again? Or will you honor the growth that pain produced in you? God does not confuse. He doesn't wrap manipulation in mercy. What is truly from Him will carry peace, clarity, and alignment with His voice, not just sentiment or surface apologies. When the enemy cannot destroy you from the outside, he'll attempt to infiltrate from the inside through relationships, through old comforts, through unresolved emotion. That's why discernment must become your daily bread. Not everything that looks like love is rooted in love. Not every hand that reaches out deserves to hold you again. So walk carefully, beloved, not in fear, but in faith. Your healing is holy. Your progress is precious. Guard it. Don't surrender it to guilt or emotional debt. You are not who you were when they left. And you don't have to reopen a door just because someone knocks. Some chapters are meant to stay closed, not out of bitterness, but out of obedience to the one who is writing your story now. There is a reason you felt peace in their absence. There is a reason your spirit started to settle when the noise faded, when the old patterns were broken, when you stopped trying to fix what never honored your worth. Don't ignore that. That stillness wasn't emptiness, it was healing. It was the sound of your soul finally breathing again. Don't let temporary emotion pull you back into spiritual bondage. The enemy is subtle, yes, but so is the Spirit of God. He whispers truth that cuts through confusion. He brings conviction, not condemnation. And when he warns you, it's not to rob you of love, it's to protect the love he's growing within you. Some doors once closed are meant to stay sealed. And it takes courage to leave them shut when everything in your heart wants to believe in second chances. But remember, the enemy doesn't always use obvious tactics. Sometimes he'll use your compassion against you. He'll play on your empathy. He'll twist your longing for reconciliation into a trap of delay and distraction. Don't fall for it. God is not in the business of recycling the same pain to teach you the same lesson again. When he moves you forward, it's because something ahead is worth reaching. You've come too far to return to what God already delivered you from. Don't let loneliness convince you to negotiate your peace. Don't let the ache of the in-between make you forget the promise he placed over your life. You weren't built to carry the same heartbreak twice. If they've truly changed, let time prove it. Let fruit be the evidence, not apologies, not sentiment, not charisma. You don't owe anyone access to you just because they've come back. Access is a privilege. And your spiritual healed, whole, growing spirit is not up for grabs. So stand firm. Guard what God has done in you. The healing, the clarity, the restoration, it's all real, and it's all worth protecting. Some returns are meant to test your roots, not to restart what once was. Ask God to show you the truth without filters, without fear. And when he reveals it, trust it. Don't second guess what you know deep down. You are no longer who you were. And that in itself is a victory. You see, elevation always comes with separation. That's the part no one tells you. You pray for growth, you ask for purpose, and then God begins to remove what can't come with you. It hurts, not because it's wrong, but because it's familiar. We mourn the loss of what once felt safe, even when that safety was built on dysfunction. But God is a master builder. He doesn't just patch up walls that are ready to fall. He tears down what was shaky from the start and lays a new foundation. You are standing on that new ground now. Don't invite old storms into a space God made new. The people who return may not even realize they're being used as instruments of delay. They may believe their words are genuine, their timing divine. But sincerity does not always equal assignment. Just because someone means well doesn't mean they're meant for where God is taking you. That's why discernment matters more now than ever before. The closer you get to purpose, the more distractions will disguise themselves as destiny. Not every familiar face is a blessing revisited. Some are a lesson retested. So ask yourself, is this God's hand or is it just a shadow of what used to be? Does their return align with the peace you fought for, or does it disturb the stillness you've come to cherish? Does it pull you closer to the cross or closer to confusion? These aren't harsh questions, they're holy ones. Questions meant to guard your heart, not harden it. This isn't about bitterness, it's about boundaries. It's about honoring what God has rebuilt in you. You don't owe anyone a place in your life just because they knew you before the healing. Let this be the season you stop explaining your boundaries and start walking boldly in them. Let this be the season where you no longer feel guilty for guarding your peace. You are not the gatekeeper of everyone's comfort. You are the steward of your own soul. And God takes that stewardship seriously. So when the familiar knocks again, pause, pray. Look past the smiles and sweet words. And remember, peace doesn't plead to be understood. It simply is. So here you are, wiser, quieter, stronger. Not perfect, but whole in ways that no one else can measure. You've weathered storms that tried to take you out, but you're still standing. Still soft enough to love, but strong enough to walk away. Still open to grace, but guarded with truth. This is what growth looks like. Not just surviving what tried to break you, but learning how to walk away from it when it comes back wearing a new face. Let this be your resolve. I will not go back to what broke me. I will not apologize for my healing. I will not shrink to fit into places God has called me out of. I will bless those who hurt me, but I will not make a home for them in my heart again. I release them with peace, but I keep my peace with me. I no longer confuse grace with access. I no longer trade my discernment for comfort. And I no longer mistake emotional familiarity for spiritual alignment. This is your moment to stand firm in who you've become, not out of pride, but out of reverence. Reverence for the God who carried you through. Reverence for the process that shaped you. Reverence for the calling that's still unfolding ahead of you. You don't need to explain why you've changed. Transformation speaks louder than any defense. Your life now is the evidence. Your peace now is the proof. So walk on, beloved. Eyes clear, spirit steady, heart guarded, not closed, but guarded. You owe no one access to your healing but the one who gave it to you. And when the familiar knocks again, you'll answer not with fear or resentment, but with truth and clarity. You'll answer with a heart so anchored in God, no storm past or present can pull you under. This is your peace. Keep it sacred. Like, comment, and subscribe.